Brasidas lived just long enough to hear that he was victorious. This, for the Greeks, is the perfect way to die, expiring at the very height of one's glory. Some say that there was something in Brasidas that sought death, that yearned for it. Not for him a quiet senescence tending his vines. He would die with Ares watching. The Greeks are always at war with each other, but they usually resolve things quickly. They find a suitable plain, line up opposite each other, and settle their disagreement in a single brutal clash. But this new, interminable kind of war was exhausting. And with the deaths of Brasidas and Cleon, both Sparta and Athens had lost their most energetic leaders. So they took to diplomacy and signed a peace treaty that was to last for 50 years. They were fighting again within a decade. And the Athenians, always quick to make terrible decisions, resolved that the surest path to victory was to open up an entirely unnecessary new front in Sicily, of all places. The Athenians tried to enclose the Sicilian capital of Syracuse within a vast stone wall. To stop this, the Syracusans tried to intercept them with a counterwall of their own. This is about the height of Greek siegecraft, I'm afraid. After months of this walling and counter-walling, the Syracusans' resolve began to waver. But just in time, reinforcements arrived from Sparta.
Ha-ha! Good to have you with us, Lysander. Here's the situation. The Athenians mean to enclose the city with a wall. So, the Syracusans are going to build a counter-wall of their own, straight upwards, and intercept the Athenians. It's up to us to protect them and ensure that the Athenians don't progress too fast. Is it true, Lysander, that you wear the armor of Brasidas, specially forged for him by all the grateful people he aided?
He hardly has use for it anymore.
Oh, Zeus! They're attacking the wall! Tell us, Lysander, what did you learn from the great and noble Brasidas?
I learned that a glorious death is easily acquired. Victory is the harder thing. It's about time we got our hands on some proper war horses. Nice of the Athenians to bring them for us.
We are very much alike, you and I. Both Mothakes, born to Helot mothers, who worked our way up.
We are nothing alike. And no man I killed ever asked for my lineage.
I know. Akuo, erkomai.
If you want to build any further, you'll have to get rid of that Athenian fort. Terribly crafty of them to put it there, eh?
Caere. Titeleis, hetolieso, erkomai.
The fort is smoking rubble. Builders, get on with the wall!
Fine progress, fine progress. I would come out and help you, but I'm feeling rather gouty today. These Sicilian sausages, I think they're... I sense that we could become great friends, you and I, and accomplish wonderful things for Sparta. Maybe even enrich ourselves in the process.
I have no need of friends. I would rather more enemies.
Hetoimos. Eh? Tiesti. Hetoimos. Neiton dia. Katsomen! Caere. Hetoimos. Kae, erkva.
There! We have stopped the Athenians' pathetic plan. Now, time for us to go on the offensive. The Athenians have no control of their appetites. Destroy their storehouses and supply ships, and watch them starve.
You may be an expert in violence, Lysander, but morale is also important in war. Retake the Olympion, and the men will be inspired. Spartan cavalry. What a wonderful novelty.
The Athenians think themselves invulnerable at sea. Shatter their oars and their pride. Stack the bodies of these lumberjacks like firewood. Torch the lumber, and the bodies with them. Burn the timber. No wood, no ships. These lumberjacks cut their own pyre. Torch the lot.
The Olympion is ours. Give the Syracusans what they need to fortify the place.
This fort is rubble. Its defenders shades.
Thank the twin gods you're a better warrior than you are a conversationalist, Lysander.
The sharks will feast while the Athenians starve. Let the Athenians scrabble in the dirt for sustenance. Oh, the Athenians will be chewing the bark from the trees. Athenian olive oil burns so well.
The Syracusans have restored this ship for you, Lysander. Apparently belonged to an old pirate called Dionysius. Came here after the Ionian revolt to prey on Carthaginian merchants. Oh, terrific work! I was sick of the sight of that fort.
We've raised this fort. Leave the corpses to the rats.
Oh, a glorious victory! Not bad for a pair of mothagays, eh?
There is nothing to celebrate until Athens is destroyed. And I see now how to do it. We require a fleet.
The Sicilian expedition was planned hastily, executed incompetently, and concluded horrifically. The Athenians were chased from Syracuse all the way to the river Athens, where they were speared like writhing tuna in the blood-churned water. This defeat should have spelled the end of the Athenian Empire. But like the many-headed Hydra, Athens recovered from every wound. For as long as they could hide behind their walls, supplied from the sea, the Athenians would never surrender. Lysander knew this. When Sparta made him admiral of a fleet that didn't yet exist, well, it seemed like the latest insult in a lifetime of derision. But Lysander was determined. He knew that Sparta needed a navy, and that required money. Real money. Not the iron spits that the austere Spartans used as currency. So Lysander sailed to Ionia to meet with the young Persian prince, Cyrus. He struck a deal with the old enemy: Persian gold for a Spartan fleet, and the troublesome Athenian navy reduced to splinters.
I shall send you as much gold as I can, Lysander. The rest you may gather from plundering Athens' allies. Just make sure to keep the shipwrights at Ephesus well supplied.
I am ready to rampage through Ionia. We shall have to be swift and ready to strike the Athenian navy while they are still unprepared.
Vaino, Petoimos. Analei! Ikatsomen! Prostagmata? Oieso, Asmenos. Raspallo! Petoimos.
Open up your stores, little mice.
I have some particularly troublesome cities in mind for your rampage, Lysander. If you can take them, there might be some additional gold for you.
Petoimos. Analei! Nakatamonioi! Titeleis.
Those yellow-eyed ephors sought to mock me, making me admiral of a fleet with no ships. Witless fools.
Miletus is always at the center of trouble in this region. I look forward to seeing you storm the city.
None will call me Mothax when I take Athens. None will call me second to Brasidas. Gather as much as you can, or we have fatter prey to hunt. I want every ship thoroughly inspected before we sail.
Cae. Raspallo! Prostagmata? Eispallo! Petoimos. Analei! Asmenos.
Plunder swiftly, just like I taught you. There are more towns to ravage. Relish the slaughter, men, but keep your eyes fixed on Miletus. Its capture will break Athenian power in Ionia.
Cae. Vaino. Erquamai.
Ransack the stores and slit the rich citizens' purses.
Cae.
When I tear down the walls of Athens, I will have Kingagis himself gaze upon my victory and recognize that I, Lysander, won Sparta this war!
Prostagmata? Erquamai. Petoimos. Vaino. Asmenos.
Take anything that shines. Burn everything else. Get to work, shipwrights. Any slackers will answer to me.
This war's been rough for Spartan manpower, I hear. Give us some of that gold, and we'll plug the holes in your battle line.
Interrogate any man wearing fine cloth. He'll have buried his gold somewhere nearby. Break the ashes over our enemies' bones, and move out. Finish your looting quickly. We have more cities to burn. Miletus is racked with infighting. The pro-Athenian Democrats rule. But if we give aid to the oligarchic faction, they can help us take the city. It is agreed. The oligarchs will open the gates for us.
You know, this whole land once lived peacefully under Persian rule, until the Athenians came.
My men have wrestled with painted Gauls, tamed the wild Scythians, speared snarling Indian elephants, and you can have us for but a handful of silver.
All I hear about is Brasidas. Noble Brasidas, heroic Brasidas loved by all. His nobility bought him nothing but an early death. Empty the stores, strip the corpses, and make ready to move. Even were I to deliver the scepter of Zeus himself to Sparta, those whispering rats in the Gerousia would still despise me. Fill our coffers with the dead men's riches. Leave the dead where they lie, and grab the loot. Don't trip over the corpses when you leave with the loot. I will have my name remembered. Lysander, victor of the Athenian war, Lord Admiral of Sparta.
You seem to be a man who appreciates a challenge, Lysander. I dare say my father's court could benefit from a few more like you.
Break the the ashes over our enemies' bones and move out. We have purged Ionia, and now we shall cleanse the seas. Ready the fleet! I shall not detain you with speeches, sailors. Swoop down upon the unsuspecting Athenians, shatter their hulls like cheap amphorae, and leave a feast for the sharks. Fiery-eyed Phobos, hear me! Run among my foes, spread deadly fear, and I shall slit the throats of 10 fat goats for you! Who will feed you behind your long walls now, Athenians? By Ares, I can almost taste my victory.
Like a razor-beaked hawk, swooping down on a crowd of startled jackdaws, Lysander shattered the unsuspecting Athenian fleet. At long last, the navy that shielded Athens from the horrors of siege was vanquished. Lysander bore down on Athens, determined to have his victory, but not before driving every Athenian garrison out of Asia Minor, so that their city would be packed with hungry mouths. No fleet, no hesitancy, no law, human or divine, stood between Lysander and the triumph he sought.
You have done well to bring us this far, Lysander, but there is still much to do. First, seize a base, so that I can bring in the rest of our soldiers.
Then onto Athens. We shall surround the city and starve its citizens into submission.
I have heard about your appetite for death, Lysander. I expect you to conduct yourself honorably, as befits an officer of Sparta.
My spies tell me that the Athenians are trying to rebuild their fleet. Do not let them undo your good work.
Proceeding straight to Athens may not be the wisest course. There are many other places which we might try to seize beforehand.
As a reward for taking those cities for me, I have sent you some more gold. Ensure that it reaches your base safely. We both know the Athenians are skilled in theft.
The Persian gold is secure.
It seems you're not entirely without friends, Lysander. For assisting their coup, the oligarchs of Miletus send you aid.
How quaint. This trireme is all that is left of the proud merchant princes of Aegina. Old Persian graves litter this island. The Athenians may have proved a match for the Mede, but not for us. No more Athenian ships will enter the Piraeus. No more silver, no more wine, no more grain. No more suckling the fruits of empire. Now you will taste bitter sorrow. Salamis was the Athenians' last refuge against the Mede. Now they lack even this shelter.
Títheles. Metaleo.
Your temperament troubles me, Lysander. You ought to know that the gods cannot abide excess. Excess of glory, excess of spirit, excess of cruelty.
Perhaps I'm more beloved of the gods than you think, Aegis. They have not ceased to deliver me victories.
Defend my men as we set up our base, Lysander.
Ite Andres!
A suitable base. I shall seek the blessings of Demeter, then proceed to besieging Athens. I expect your assistance, Lysander.
Hetoimos. Erkomai. Títheles. Asmenos. Erkomai. Ite Nakatamonioi! Asmenos. Tiesti. Neiton dia. Prostagmata.
Our stranglehold grows tighter. Soon I will choke the life from Athena's city.
Caer. Akuo. Asmenos. Vaino. Oieso. Prostagmata. Oieso. Akuo. Asmenos. Erkomai. Vaino. Raspanole! Hetoimos. Akuo. Neiton dia. Oieso. Caer. Vaino. Caer. Oieso. Akuo. Erkomai. Prostagmata. Eispallo! Títheles. Vaino. Ite Andres!
Here they come, with the wild-eyed ferocity of desperate men. Plant your feet, and do not let them push you back! How I have longed to see the Acropolis spattered with blood. The Acropolis is mine! Bow, Athenians! Bow before your conqueror!
You would do well to remember that this victory belongs to Sparta, not to you alone.
No, this is my victory. I destroyed their fleet. I starved their city. They came begging for mercy to me, and I will have the glory that is owed me. I will have my name remembered.
Proud Athens, which had once gorged itself on the fruits of its empire, now starved. Sallow-faced and trembling, the Athenians begged Lysander to lift his siege. To make sure that Athens would always remain at his mercy, Lysander tore down the long walls to the mocking music of flute girls. Lysander finally had his victory, and he made sure it was never forgotten. At Delphi, the center of the Greek world, he had himself sculpted in bronze. But, as you must have learnt by now, great men rarely meet great ends. And before long, Lysander was dead, his legacy scorned by the kings he served, his memory blackened with accusations of arrogance, violence, and greed. You might think that after spending nearly 3 decades at war, the Greeks would settle down, at least for a little while. Alas, they were at each other's throats again soon enough. Endless configurations of cities in alliances and leagues and empires, fighting for gold or territory or honor, or sometimes for no good reason at all. No, the Greeks would never stand together by choice, only by necessity or compulsion. And indeed, the day would soon come when unity would be forced upon them by a man whose cunning eclipsed Themistocles, whose swiftness was greater than Brasidas, whose ruthlessness was beyond even Lysander, and whose ambitions were a match for any king who ever lived. But I grow weary now. Return on the morrow, and I shall continue our tale.